My name is Vanessa. I'm 24. I started Plexus sometime in June. I have to go back and check the date. Back in 2004, I had an accident and I was booked off a horse and I had a seizure. I don't remember a single thing about it. I was airlifted to UMC at the time, the trauma hospital in Fresno, and they paid more attention to the head trauma than anything else. Off and on, I would have back problems. I would go to chiropractors, try to get some help. Pretty much thought I had it under control. Summers of 07 and 08, when I was living down south in Hesperia, I started getting to the point to where I was flat on my back for a couple of weeks. I couldn't walk, and I was taking care of my niece and nephew at the time. And then, they wanted to do surgery. I went to specialists. At the time, my insurance didn't cover the surgery, which is good because it scared me. They had no options besides they would give me muscle relaxers, they would give me Vicodin. And it got to the point where that didn't dim the pain anymore. And I had a really, unhealthy eating habits. I was always drinking coffee, I was always tired. Fast forward a couple of years. Last year I was working as a nanny and a personal assistant, and I loved what I did. And it got to the point to where it was sometime in February where I was at a birthday party and I realized I'm not out there dancing. I wasn't I wasn't myself. And it was slowly deteriorating more than I thought it was. A couple months later, it got to the point, I called into work, I couldn't drive. The last time I called in, my mom called, and we didn't know what was going on. My employers told me, Vanessa, you're 23, you're skinny, and you're too young to be sick. I didn't know that myself. I went from being the happy person that I always was, really, always smiling, to faking a smile. My friends didn't understand. They invited me to go out places like I used to. I became really short-tempered with my family, my loved ones. My nieces and nephews. My nieces and nephews would come up to me and hug me. And I'd tell them, stop touching your auntie. What was that to tell them? Stop loving me. And it got to the point where I couldn't wear jeans, any pressure. Basically, what I've left out is, when I saw a specialist last year, he told me, you have the back of an 80-year-old. And I was 23. And pretty much, I saw pain management doctors, and they told me, well, we can do some more prescriptions. And the last time I saw the pain management doctor, she told me, Vanessa, you've made it clear that you don't like pain pills. And I said, yeah, I have, because it doesn't help me, and it's doping me up and not myself. I wasn't sleeping. I was sleeping maybe 4 to 5 hours, broken up in the night, in chunks, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. And basically, my sister, when I went down, I think, and visited her sometime after I lost my job, when I lived with my sister in the summers of 07 and 08, taking care of my niece and nephew, she never drove anywhere or did anything because of her severe anxiety. And we had went somewhere down in LA, and we were stuck in 4 hours of traffic, and my sister got off her Ambien and Xanax after over 7 years. And that was really eye-opening for me. But I remember she told me, Vanessa, you need to try Plexus. I really think it'll help you. And I pretty much told her to shut it. I didn't have the money. I lost my job, and nothing was going to help me. The doctors couldn't help me. All they wanted to do was to continue passing out Band-Aids. So when she told me, well, you can afford Starbucks. And I said, fine. She pretty much slapped me in the face with that. So I started in June, just on the slim. And I don't remember how long, a couple weeks after, maybe I added the ProBio and the BioCleanse. Throughout the month, still, the doctors didn't have any answers, and I was told I had fibromyalgia. I've lost all 3 curves in my back. I have herniated disc, bulging disc, pinched nerves, deteriorating disc. But still, their only answer was maybe, to dim the pain. And when I asked, if it helps with the pain, is it going to further damage my body? And she told me no. And I'm not a stupid person. I knew that, it was going to dim the pain, but if I regained my physical activity somehow, it would make my body worse. For a couple of months, I really pushed through the die-off symptoms and the candida leaving, because it got to the point to where I couldn't stand. Yes, I lost my job. I couldn't stand. I couldn't I remember going with Sabrina to Walmart once. We made it to electronics, and like I pretty much almost collapsed. I was like, I can't. I have to go home. And I barely made it to my car, and I barely made it home. And I'm probably leaving out a lot. But looking back on a couple of months, compared to now, I'm nowhere. I mean, I could stand, and it was to the point where I couldn't walk, and I couldn't sit, and it would be down to, like, I couldn't feel my foot, I couldn't feel my leg, and my foot, it would just turn different colors, and my body would just swell up, and they had no answers. No answers, and so it took a toll emotionally and physically, because, I mean, I felt like I looked in my mirror, and I wasn't there, you know? And I was supposed to be a happy person. And so now, I mean, it's pretty much, it saved my life. I can't make claims, whatever, but it did. It saved my life, and so when I look at people around me, and they're just like, well, you know, I don't know if I want to try it, it's kind of like a slap in the face, because it's like I almost pretty much could have lost my life if I continued going down the path that I was going. And so like I can move, and I'm completely pretty much pain-free. When the pain's bad, it's at 2. And when I would go to the doctors and they would say, you know, 1 to 10, what is it? I'd go, what is a 10? I would have been happy to know. And so, I'll be quiet, but yeah, it's changed.